acting like self-sharpening shears. To give you an idea of just how powerful its jaws were, scientists have speculated that they could generate up to 8,000 pounds of bite force per square inch. For some perspective, a lion's bite generates approximately 650 pounds per square inch. 𝚠𝚌𝚛𝚒𝚜's fatal flaw was that it was so greedy that it often suffered from indigestion. Fossils of this prehistoric beast have often been found alongside regurgitated and semi-digested remains of fish. You may be glad to know 𝚠𝚌𝚛𝚒 isn't around anymore, but if you want to make sure Be Amazed never goes extinct too, you know what to do. Just shimmy on over to those like and subscribe buttons and show them some love. And don't forget to tickle that little bell icon too. That way you'll be the first to know when I upload more amazing content. Now buckle up for more goosebump-inducing beasts. The 𝚘𝚒𝚘𝚒. If you thought getting into the water with 𝚠𝚌𝚛𝚒 was a terrifying prospect, then just wait till you hear about the 𝚘𝚒𝚒. This ghastly 270 million-year-old, 20 to 25 foot long fish is the star of one of the most vexing fossil mysteries to ever confound paleontologists. It all began with the discovery of strange petrified whorls of elongated teeth that looked kind of like fossilized fruity roll-ups. Russian geologist Alexander Petrovich Karpinski coined the name 𝚘𝚑𝚒𝚒 in 1899 after determining that the strange fossils were actually part of a shark-like fish. His best guess was that the unusual feeding apparatus was attached to the nose of this long-dead creature like a permanently rolled-up party horn. But the remains continued to puzzle paleontologists for over a century. Years spent speculating about the true arrangement of the toothy whorl produced a slew of bizarre visions of sharks with whorls of teeth hanging off of their snouts, dangling from their lower jaws, dorsal fins, caudal fins, and even embedded deep in their throats. It wasn't until 2013 that a study led by 𝚙𝚕𝚊𝚅 from Idaho State University correctly proposed that the coiled tooth row totally filled the lower jaw in a buzzsaw-like formation. As the fish aged, new teeth continually formed at the back of the lower jaw, while there were practically no upper teeth to speak of. So how did the 𝚘𝚑𝚒𝚒 catch and consume its prey? Terrifyingly, paleontologists suggest that as the jaw closed, the toothy whorl rotated the teeth backwards in a saw-like motion. As if all that wasn't scary enough already, the largest 𝚘𝚑𝚒𝚒 specimen ever found had a 2-foot-wide jaw. Thank God this terrifying buzzsaw killer went extinct some 225 million years ago, because it's a whole pile of new terror birds. The simple fact that scientists nicknamed the first race of the terror birds should tell you everything you need to know about these frightening creatures. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the full rundown anyway. After a meteor wiped out the fearsome dinos like the T-Rex and the Velociraptor, the terror bird rose up to become the top land predator in South America, a title they defended for the next 60 million years. These prehistoric feathered beasts grew up to 10 feet tall and had T-Rex-like feet and a hooked beak that could sever the spinal cord of a horse with one fatal blow. Their reign of, well, terror began before what we now know as Central America existed, when South America was still an island. While the likes of the saber-toothed cats and wolves took over the job of top predators elsewhere, most of the mammals in South America were happy herbivores. This provided the terror birds with a smorgasbord of plant-munching animals to feast on without any competition. These swift-moving creatures were equipped with a pickaxe-like beak which they used to strike downwards and fatally crack the skulls of smaller animals. Ooh, ouch. But that's not all. Their bony heads could act as a giant meat tenderizer, and they would likely have used their enormous clawed feet to kick the living daylights out of their prey. During their 60 million year reign, 17 different species in the terror bird family came and went, until they finally disappeared altogether about 2.5 million years ago. It makes you appreciate street pigeons a little more, doesn't it? 𝚙𝚕𝚊𝚜𝚅. Now, how do you take a regular elephant and make it utterly terrifying. You replace its trunk with an enormous, fleshy spork. That's how. This fantastical creature may look like it was dreamed up by an imaginative 7-year-old, but travel back in time between 8 million and 20 million years ago, and you'll see for yourself that the Platypelodon was once as real as they come. This ancestor of the modern elephant had a strange jutting jaw that actually consisted of a pair of widened tusks, which, by the way, are just modified incisors. But what was the purpose of this bizarre tool? After all, animals don't waste energy developing worthless characteristics. When the Platypelodon was first described in the 1920s, it was thought that their lower incisors were used to shovel, scoop, dig, and dredge soft vegetation in aquatic or swampy environments. But in 1992, paleontologist David Lambert proposed that they were also used as scythe-like weapons that could slice through thick vegetation. Instead of roaming shorelines, Platypelodon wandered around Miocene Asia, Africa, and North America, feeding on terrestrial plants, grasping branches with its trunk, and cutting them away with those specialized built-in scythes. Because these fleshy, spork-shaped appendages don't fossilize as easily as bone, we're actually pretty lucky to know much about these bizarre creatures at all. Thankfully, they did us a big favor by dying